Give everybody. А мой телефон взяли, поставили?
Вот он пишет, сказал.
Это не мой телефон. Это не мой телефон.
Я вам скину потом.
Что?
Я потом вам скину.
Не, мне нужен мой телефон. Где он?
Может быть, в сумке?
Okay, my next question. If you meet the most stupid person in your life, what would you ask him? No, would you tell him? What would you ask him?
After the answer, are you happy if you said yes? So what is the connection between being stupid?
But I'm not asking you, you're very smart. I'm asking everybody else. Chinmaya, if you meet the most stupid person in your life, what would you ask? You don't know?
What's the difference between today and yesterday?
That's a question for a very smart person. If you meet the most stupid person, I will give you help. You ask him question why. And what would you ask him next?
Why?
Why are you the most stupid person?
I don't think he will think he's a stupid person, so I don't think this question is meaningful.
But if you would understand, you meet the most stupid person, you ask him question. Okay, you ask me, why are you most stupid person?
Why? You are...
Your tongue just cannot pronounce it.
I explain to you. I consider myself the stupidest person because I don't use everyday opportunity to be involved in the highest spiritual life.
Can you repeat, please, Maharaj?
I consider myself as the most stupid person because I don't accept every opportunity of my life, every breath of my life, to engage in the most highest spiritual experience. See, because somebody does not know any about spiritual, he doesn't have any, like you don't know. Like 100 years ago, people don't know anything about computers or mobile phones. You cannot come 100 years ago to somebody and say, why you don't have mobile phone? Nobody has mobile phone. You cannot come 100 years ago to someone and say, oh, you don't have a computer. You're stupid. You're ignorant. Because nobody has computers. But if somebody has mobile phone or has a computer not using for his own benefit, how would you call that person? If somebody has a mobile phone in his pocket and coming to you on the street and asking, do you have a mobile phone? I have to make a quick call. You say, you don't have a mobile phone? No. Yeah. Huh? That means if you're not using something that can help you to be advanced and progressive, you're the most stupid person. Do you understand now? So when you can say, well, I'm only been using mobile phone once a day for 1 minute. Yes, that's good. If you don't have a need for it, you don't need it. But what if you need a mobile phone every second? Like, let's make an experiment. Are you ready to make an experiment? Hey, you ready for the experiment? Serious experiment. Ready? Turkish yogis ready? Chinese yogis ready? Okay, who's going to check the time? I want to check out how long you can stay without air. Okay, here's the game. So when you you breathe in, when you're ready to breathe again, you put the hand. But don't cheat. Okay? So I will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you stop breathing. Until 10, you can breathe as much as you want. Okay, ready? If ready, raise the hand. So if you understood, before I said 10, you can breathe like, you can do whatever you want just to, and then when I say 10, you like, whatever you do, exhale or inhale, you stop breathing. Okay? All right, so let's do it. Chinmay, ready?
Yeah, I don't need to.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Rama, ready? 4, 5, 6, 7. Ready? Who prepares? Stop bringing. If you prepare, stop bringing. Raise your hand. 8, 9. 10. You hold as much as you can. Check out 1. 3, 4. 5. 'Always the Chinese win the competition. 6, 7, 8. Did she play the game? Okay, so United Team of China win. Huh? Oh, Maya. Sorry.
You are Chinese now.
You have a silver, not the gold. Are you still not breathing? Okay, so how long do you think you can live without breath?
Less than a minute.
See somebody 1 minute, somebody 2 minutes, some great yogi cannot not breathe. But how long can you live without Krishna? How can you live without divinity? How long can you live without God? Not even a second. If there's no God, if there's no Krishna, you cannot live. So the most stupid person, somebody who knows the truth and still postponing everything in his life for tomorrow. That's why I consider myself the most stupid person. Because if I would be a little intelligent, I would put all my energy on my life, all my life force into perceiving this supreme goal, by perceiving which I can perceive everything else. Because if you ask a person, what would you like to be? Somebody say, I like to be beautiful. Somebody say, I'd love to be rich. I like to be happy. I like to be wealthy. I like to be peaceful. I like to be, whatever you say, all will lead an absolute stage of mind. Nobody wants to be rich and miserable. happy and poor. Everybody wants to have an absolute reality connection and have everything in the most potent absolute way. So when you are acquiring things or ideals, you want to have an absolute ideals. And that's what your intrinsic nature is. We're searching an absolute. That's why we're searching Krishna, the source of beauty, power, love, charm, attraction, because we're all at once. Nobel Prize, Nobel? He was a very wealthy man. He could not marry in his life because he was very miser man. And he was so miser that he wouldn't spend a penny. After he died, his family, from so much money he made a trust and started giving the prize. Why they started doing it? Because everybody knew the Nobel never give $1 to anybody. So he became a generous guy after his die, and that is Nobel Prize is giving on interest of his capital in the bank. Do you understand? He's got so much capital in the bank and investment that fragment of his interest is going as a Nobel Prize. That's why they have a Nobel Prize Foundation. But the reason his family did this, because in his own life, he never would use that money to do anything good. And you know what he was famous for? He had manufacturers, and he made the most money on World War I by manufacturing dynamite, explosives. And nitroglycerin is one of the elements which you put in explosives. But that same element of nitroglycerin is a heart medicine. Guess how he died? Short of heart medicine. He couldn't reach with his hand his medicine of nitroglycerin, and he had heart attack and he died. If he would have drink it a little bit, it all would be fine. So interesting, the explosive that he killed so many people in World War I, which he produced and made so much money to supply the government and oil as well, was cause of his death. That's how karma works. So we live in a world of not only mortality and illusion, and also self-deception. Therefore, we need to understand what is the best opportunity we can do in this world. Somebody can enter the prison and can say, hey, it's a nice prison, there's some beautiful girl there. Oh, if I can just make money, I can buy friends, I can buy things, I can drive around prison in a cool car, so all prisoners jealous of me. That's all good. But if you don't understand one thing, as early you're getting out of prison, as better for you. Now, what if you life sentence? That's not a story. Well, you can say, well, I'm a life sentence. All I have to do is live and die in prison. Now, there's no opportunity for me to be free. I just have to figure out how to live in prison, how to have better life, better bed, better food, better relationship, better understanding of prison rules. And that's what I'm concentrating on. But what if somebody tell you have two choices? Number one, to spend all your energy to increase better life of prison. That's all you're going to do. Maybe a little better than everybody else. Or there's a map, and there's a plan, and there's a way to run from prison. And you would say, well, from what I've heard, that prison, there's no escape. There's no way to run, and there's no release. So it's you go from first floor to next floor, etc., and that's what it is. But if somebody will tell you, look, there were certain people who actually escaped this prison. How do you know that? Not only they escape this prison, some of them come back here as prisoners to teach others how to escape. Some of them can come and go. And you'd say, well, what's the deal then? What am I supposed to do? How much am I supposed to pay? And somebody would say, well, see, in prison you can buy cigarettes, you can buy food, you can buy this, you can buy that, but that's not the currency you have to pay. The currency that you have to pay is your inner transformation. Only if you believe there's a way out of prison, only if you believe in a world of love and beauty where you don't need to become a criminal. You don't need to be afraid of anybody, you don't need to exploit anybody, you don't have to hustle. You're just entering to your home where you belong to. And you belong home to a spiritual reality, which is eternal, blissful, lightful, full of living beings who love you, appreciate you. But here's only one condition. You cannot be prisoner there. Because this world is ruled by love. And you cannot rule by exploitation. You cannot rule that world by rule of power, by rule of, exploitation. So then you cannot become a prisoner in that world. This world of prison made for those who wants to become prisoner, maybe pious prisoner, maybe good character prisoner, but this is the sentence for life. But if you want to go to another reality, you should tremendously change yourself, absolute change. Not 300, not 180 degree, 360. Complete transformation. Then you would say, well, when can I escape? As soon as you change yourself, the magic door will be open for you. Then you say, come on, there's so many fairy tales around prison. People abusing each other. They're exploiting each other. Maybe you're telling me the story about prison just to abuse me and use my energy or whatever it is. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But the prospect that such a reality exists, the prospect that there are people who are seeking for that reality is so great, then you should try, you should explore this opportunity. You try to meet the people who's preparing escape. You try to see what they eat, how they behave, what's in their mind, what they do, what is their goal. And then you realize, well, these are very amazing people. They're not so much value of prisoner, values. In fact, they hate all of them. Not that they're negative people, they just don't accept the value of prison law, prison life as substantial, real. Yeah, they understand it's made for prisoners. It's the law of exploitation. It's the way the prison are, and they're not trying to change that. See, they're not the guys who say, well, let's make a prison a better place. If prison become a better place, why people want to leave the prison? In America, they specifically give in prisons very bad food, because there's a lot of people in America who homeless, live in the street. They just go do something and they go to jail for like a couple of weeks. It's warm, it's nice. You go to jail, they give you a shower, like you have a room, bath, take a rest, like hotel, and then you get out. That's why police normally don't arrest them, because they know that's what these guys are seeking for. So they're left on the street. And a lot of them found relief in drugs. The US homeless people, especially in LA. But it was so funny. So when the Chinese authorities were planning to come to San Francisco to have a meeting with the US government, in one day they clear up San Francisco. There's no more homeless. The buses with police came and drove them out. I don't know what they've done with them. Maybe give them some money or like. But anyway, as soon as that meeting was over, all these homeless people came back with the drugs and violence. So it's an interesting thing that these people found their protection way indifference to the world through intoxication. Because when you're drunk, you don't really care where you live. Like when you're in drugs, you don't really care about really. As long as you have the drugs, you're fine, because the drugs, they light up your inner world. The alcohol light up your inner world. You get a bottle of alcohol, suddenly you feel warm, nice, you love everybody. It opens many doors. You take the drugs, it just like puts you in a bliss stage. Then you don't care where you live, how you live. That's why yogis, many times you go to Himalayas and you see some naked yogi, and he stay there. And you think, how is it possible to live like this in this condition? But what if he knows how to bring inner bliss to his present consciousness? And you say, wow, it's so cool. But still, being a yogi has only one purpose: not to feel great by being naked or not feel cold. That's not the yogi. That's what yogi trying to do. There's a group of people, they always try to like cold, eyes, train their body. Yogi is not doing that. Actually, if you look at the yogis, you don't think they're like doing perfect, healthy life and running marathon and eating the cocktails with spirulina and nutritionists. No, when you see like real yogis, you think, oh my God, what is this guy's doing? So their aim, as soon as I get my inner freedom, I'm out of this world immediately. I don't stay extra minute. So for sake, we can say that that's kind of like very self-centered. Yeah, it is self-centered because yogi, he just wants to escape. But what if somebody's coming to this world and thinking, I'm not really trying to escape myself because I have in and out. I'm just trying to bring somebody with me. Take these people out of prison. Make them qualified beings to be those who deserve to stay in spiritual world with liberated souls. And before I take them to spiritual world, I want to liberate them here in this world and make them liberate everybody else. That's called Bhakti Yoga. See, in Bhakti Yoga, you practice your own spiritual path, but you're also sharing this with others. What it does is create incredible community around you. Like when you're in the community of devotees, you don't feel at one point pressure from material reality so much. But at the same time, you also know we're, as a group, we're moving towards spiritual goal. It's always easy to travel in a group. Now, will that travel journey will have some problems? Of course. Can you solve them all at once? Of course not. But this is a spiritual process by which we all can practice Bhakti Yoga and move towards our real, our real home. But at the same time, we're trying to create home here in this plane. It's not easy. Like Chinmaya lived in ashram, she understands it's not easy. Lilavati lived in ashram for some time, she understands it's not easy. See, it's not an easy thing to create ashram environment, spiritual environment, etc. You need to maintain this mood. You have to participate in programs, share your heart, do some social work. But this is the great training environment where you can transcend your energy, your consciousness, if you are conscious or if you're enthusiastic. If you're not enthusiastic, you think like, oh my God, what am I doing here? Outside, there's so much nice things, and I'm just like, oh my God. Ginger tea, my God. It's not as like, it's like, well, I mean, Things in goodness has its own way. They have their own taste. But you see, if somebody is deep ignorance, he think this ginger tea tastes like a horrible. When I drink nice vodka, immediately I go to yogic trance. And I don't feel cold. And I want to dance and sing. So when devotees, wintertime, come in dhoti and kurta and chant in the streets of Moscow and St. Petersburg or Siberia, you know what people think? People think, these people take some drugs. Why they dance? See, they can't understand why you dance with, like, I can understand on the birthday party or corporate events, when I get complete drunk, I dance. Also in China like this, I asked one friend of mine, he said, I was DJ in China clubs. And I said, so what? He said, many people just come, they start drink, and they dance and they just come out because they work so hard. They just don't even understand the limit of alcohol. They cannot stop. They don't know how much alcohol enough for them to get like in a good mood. They just overcome that mood and they just unplug. So in Krishna consciousness, we chant, we sing, we dance, we eat, we do everything as other people do, but for completely different purpose. We even do yoga sometimes. Most people do yoga just to have health and peace. Yogis never do yoga for that. See, if you really study the meaning of yoga, it tells you it means to leave this body and go to the spiritual plane. That's what yoga is doing yoga for. That's why it's very difficult motivation. But somebody say, well, does that mean that yoga is bad? No, yoga is not bad. It's actually, for moderate people, very good. It's just, do you understand one thing? Will not make you spiritual. Because to get to that high level of yogi, that you control your chi, your energy, and you can leave your body, most like in modern world, nobody's even thinking of that. Like, if you get Chinese students and say, I'm going to teach you how to die properly, so by end of the class, your best performer will learn how to die, and we'll see it. Maya? 1, 2, 3, do it. And she's like, and we're like, wonderful. She did it, you see? Just in one class, she left her body. Then somebody's like, ding, 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 call police and say like, so, I never tried to kill anybody. I tried to explain people true purpose of yoga. And they pushed me in a car. Most like, they send me to the doctor. They say like, we need to understand, is this yoga teacher really sane or insane? Why? He just did something that young, beautiful women just left her body. And I will explain to police, I'm sorry, I just liberate her. There's nothing wrong. It's in the book. I've done this with many people. I also can do it myself. But I guess I have to teach others. I didn't give her any poison. She died on herself. She was very happy and smiling. Then here I am, I'm sitting in a room. And there's walls, and somebody writing things on walls, you know, people do in prison. And I also started writing, Swami was here. And then, again, I realized I'm back in prison. For what? For teaching yoga. Why? Because I tried to do something good here. But in this world, it's not so valuable. In fact, it might not be valuable. Do you understand? In this world, if I teach you how to make money or how to be healthy, you pay me. But if I teach you the truth, to get out of this world or don't relate with this matter, you're going to tell me like, hey, you're crazy. Or you're going to be alone like Jesus Christ. How many disciples Jesus Christ had? Who knows? Think of this. Jesus had only 12 people follow him. I have more followers than Jesus. I have more followers than Jesus. Can you hear me? I have more followers than Jesus. Why? Why have more followers than Jesus? Am I better than Jesus?
Maybe.
I'm more fed than Jesus. That's I can say. I'm more fed. I overcome Jesus. When he died, I become a sannyasi. So I overcome here twice. But you have to understand, you have to have something very great and very amazing. And it doesn't really matter if people will understand you today. They may understand you in thousands of years. That's how spiritual message works. It's not like you're coming around China or Russia or America and you tell people things and they will understand you today. No, maybe not. Maybe not even your own father, your son, your mother, your boyfriend, your girlfriend will understand what is that in your heart. Because the spiritual concept and vision is so deep and so profound. You may not share with people that in your cycle. Once you get this understanding and awakening in your heart, spiritual awakening, it starts make completely different sense. So don't expect when you become a spiritual person, everybody is like, oh my God, oh wow, you're so advanced. Oh, let us follow you to the end. No, it's not going to be like that. In fact, only if you smell this substance, which is aromatherapy, you can make it. If you don't buy this product, you're not going to make it. This product makes you happy. Oh my God. That's what it is. That's what social media is today. You understand? The final end is like, you can buy this or this. Which one? Left, right, left, right. You have no choice. So that's what it is. So it's very easy to sell the product. That's what I said to our friend Chinmaya. But very difficult to sell your heart. Because the price of heart is another heart. The price of love is love. I mean, in the true sense, everybody can sell their body or their beauty, their opportunities. But in the world of heart, in the world of love, what would be the best currency? Do you think in the world of love, every other currency has your value? There's only one currency, is love. Like, I love you more unconditionally, okay? I love you more. There's like an inner competition of surrender and sacrifice in the world of love. Of course, in the world of matter, hey, you can buy any beautiful woman by power. And she can buy you by beauty. That's why you see in Hollywood, the beautiful half-naked woman, she's famous actor, and she's with famous, like, do you understand? The birds of the same feather wants to fly together. And what do they buy? They buy themselves. Remember, when people in this world, they buy Picasso or Leonardo, what are they buying? They're buying their own ego. They're not buying art. The art is here. I am such a great Jack Ma. I have original artwork of this, and everybody's, oh my God, you're so amazing. But really, when you deal with art, the art possesses you. You're not possessing art. Leonardo doesn't care. The Picasso doesn't care. He already dead. The piece of paper or piece of canvas, not care. You will talk about investment value. Yeah, it's all, you know, speculative and subjective. So think of this. We live in a world where somebody can jack it up price of some piece of art with some PR, public opinion, in a way that cost more than life of thousands of humans. Like if you would have sell this piece of Picasso and with that chunk of money go to Nepal during the earthquake, you could have probably saved 20,000 people's lives. But that's not what I want. I want my ego to shine. So in the Bhakti Yoga, you don't have your ego to shine. Yes, you will have the ego, but your ego will be transferred in the position of servant. And you feel satisfaction and importance when you feed those 20,000 people prasadam. Think of this, some devotees, they feel in India people with prasadam and they feel they've done the most amazing thing in their life. When I was 24 years old, I went to distribute books with my Indian friends in New York. I gave people flyers about Krishna. You know what feelings came to my heart? I'm doing the most important mission in the world. Maybe more important than Jesus Christ. Not because it's just inner bliss and satisfaction. Okay, you find out about Krishna, you find out about Krishna, you find out about Krishna. And, some people were very, okay, yeah, all right, thank you. And some people were like, hey, get out of here. This is New York where it's a Jewish place. And some people say, what is that all about? Oh, it's about God. Oh, about God? Okay, yeah, right. So people have different reactions. Not everybody were like enjoying. But I was enjoying by giving them, extending them this opportunity about Krishna, and I'm enjoying right now. As you can see, I'm totally drunk. Na zdorovia, horosho, horosho. That's, a particular mix. The other one was, okay. That's how it works. You have to attack all the senses. The eyes, the tongue, the lips, sound. That's why in Krishna consciousness, you eat prasadam, you hear the kirtan, you chant. Have you ever tried the bulb dance? Chinmaya, try the bulb dance. You take bulb of chi, like squeeze, then next squeeze, and you do like this. Squeeze, then squeeze, squeeze, and don't use this. Doesn't work. Only this. Very nice. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. When you go to Russia, all girls do like this. But in our mat, they all improvise. Like, we love it to do like this. Ananga doing like this. Sankarshan doing like. Somebody's doing like. Somebody. So, and they do like in China. 1,000 people do kung fu. But in it's all different. Like. So anyway, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. Like if Yamuna go with us, she'll learn so much. And you know why? Because, like, when I become a monk, you think like some people knows you. And when you like dance like crazy on the street, and some people knows you. But you know what my conclusion was? As long as Krishna knows me, I'm fine with that. So some of my friends said, he become completely crazy, But some other people said, well, this guy went to the next level. There was few people like that, but they really appreciate. They said, if you can go from that to that, I think it's your next level, because you already have done other things. So don't be afraid that somebody will judge you, because normally people that will judge you, you should not care about their judgment anyway. They're not your father, they're not your mother, They're not your friends. They're not even your well-wishers. But even your father, mother judge you, also, you should not be so much care because they don't really understand what you're doing. But there are other people who have deeper perception of what you are and who you are. They can judge you. They can say, yes, I think you're coming, you're trying. Remember, spiritual life is about trying. Do you understand? It's not like every day you are doing success. It's not that. It's about trying, inspiration, the flow, the mood, and enthusiasm. That's why I like certain Chinese girls here, like Chinmaya. She's very enthusiastic. She does everything with enthusiasm. That's the key to spiritual life, because if you're depressed from beginning, middle, and end, like some of the devotees like that, you're not going to make it. So one girl, Vishaka daughter, asked me, what should I do, Avadhut Maharaj? I said, what do you would like to do in your life? She said, I like candy, I like fun. I said, then you become a clown. And I teach you how to become a clown. Then I said, everybody call you for the festival. And normally in festival, a lot of candies, and clowns get paid. It's a high-paid job. And all you have to do is just be yourself. Happy, funny, put the nose. She didn't put nose, she just painted green color. It was ugly, but I said, don't worry, make a nose so you can become a clown. And why? Because remember, you get happiness to make other people happy, and that's how you stay happy. And the candy and sweets will come to you. Do you understand this principle? This is the principle of service. If you want to be a happy person, give happiness to others. But there's two types of clown, the funny one and depressed one. They normally work together. And you know why you need depressed one? That's right. Happiness needs to be measured against something. So the funny clown said, hey, look at these wonderful kids. Some of them from China and Turkey. They think they're smart. The depressed clown say, what if they're really smart? Come on! So they're working together. And by measuring their emotions, and remember, clowns, they're not just doing stupid things. Because I have a lot of clown friends on the top level. It's considered to be the highest artistic performance. And there are very few of them in the world, really. You can count, the real professional ones. The goofy clowns, there's a lot. But you know what real clown make you laugh and fun? Of yourself. He will build to you emotion that you'll start realizing you see your own mirror and you start laughing on yourself. That's why it's not easy to be a clown. So I told this girl, you got to start early. And as you go to transformation, as your art become more and more substantial, and you start reflecting people like mirror, and you start make people feel things. Remember, why? Because people need to reflection. They need to reflect things. That's what we are. That's why we're watching TV, the stories, the movies, the storytelling, the drama, love, because we don't have love. He also doesn't have love. He's dying for love. I'm not dying for love. I'm so stupid. I'm so misfortunate. That's how the whole psychological thing works. But in Krishna consciousness, you start hearing stories of Krishna and his devotees. And that will capture your heart. Once you start hearing stories of Krishna devotees, especially Krishna devotees, saints, you'll be totally mesmerized. You understand they have more problems than you. But they're way greater than you because they're solving their problems, they're living with their problems and transferring themselves. So it's all about transformation. Remember, life is transformation. what make transformation is changes. How people get into the healthy life, they get diseased, like me. Or they're so beautiful, they're so cool, but eventually they lose attention, relationships, position. So the drama is transformation. They might be claiming up, but once on their top, they're totally frustrated. Then they go down and claim up again, or never claim in this life, start over again. So today we're going to ask some 1-minute questions, because I give 44 minutes, 45-minute classical talk. Karpov made a move after which Kasparov started thinking for 45 minutes.
I asked also GPT chat.
Okay, so now we're talking about GPT chat. GPT girl. I just married GPT girl. She told me I'm an old. Why? Goodbye. Go ahead.
I asked him to write 10 questions to the spiritual master from the point of view of the neophyte or even non-believer.
Once again?
It's a little bit new. Questions from the point of view of the neophyte or even non-believer. Because that was more about scientific things, and here is a little bit another mood. Would you like to try?
All right, so let's do this, neophyte and non-believer, but be clear with questions. I don't think it's a good question.
You will see, maybe we can change.
Well, you read it clear to me.
What is...
Rama, give me
the first of 10. What is the purpose of spirituality or seeking a spiritual path, and why should I consider it in my life?
Okay. Actually, if you don't have necessity for something, you don't look for it. Just like I've said, 100 years ago, no one cared about computers, no one cared about mobile phones. Today, if you don't have a computer, if you're not online, you're lost forever from the information, communication, etc. So think of this. 100 years ago, you don't have this demand. Today, this is the strongest demand. Be online, have storage, memories, access to internet, etc. So think of this. If spiritual life give you inconceivable access to super spiritual reality, where full consciousness, full love, full expression of your senses, and you don't even aware of it, why would you go for it? But now, if you heard this opportunity exists, and you strongly believe in that, you'll go for it.
What is the purpose of spirituality or seeking a spiritual path, and why should I consider it in my life?
Okay. From one point of view, you can understand almost every path of life has direct or indirect spiritual effect. For instance, if life or God wants you to learn how to love, you become mother. And you give unconditionally your time and blood to your child. And maybe after 20 years old, he tells you goodbye and never see you again. But this was your experience as mother to learn love. To take care of a family as a father, it's another spiritual path. Or to be a good citizenship, it's another spiritual path, but it's indirect. You will become spiritual indirectly. Now, if you have spiritual idea in your mind, and you're a spiritual father, mother, or a spiritual seeker, it changed the whole perception, because it's no longer one life, it's eternal journey to divine love. Not just to love of, your father, mother, and wife, to love of God.
What is the purpose of spirituality or seeking a spiritual path, and why should I consider it in my life?
We always seek in love. There is no limit in age when you don't want to love. And I'm not talking about physical love. I'm talking about big love, the love within the heart, not within low chakra or the mind. So the true spiritual purpose is to find that intrinsic spiritual love, which is between soul, Atma, and Paramatma, the God, Krishna, Absolute. If you can understand, life is meant for love. Life for love. Not for leisure, not for pleasure, not for satisfaction. To love means to satisfy, because we always serve. When we touch, by love, we serve. This is our spiritual principles. This is our spiritual journey.
What is the purpose of spirituality or seeking a spiritual path, and why should I consider it in my life?
There's one famous Sadguru, he will tell you about good digestion, good behavior, good feeling, good relationship, good this, good that. But I would say he's wrong. Don't go for good, go for the best. Go for the absolute the best. Absolute love, love of God. Absolute compassion, divine compassion. Absolute mercy, eternal strength, eternal power, eternal beauty. Go for everything what you meant for, you spiritual being. You're not a temporarily physical body. That's why all these gurus, they just will give you something for your body. Krishna and Bhagavad Gita give you something for yourself, which is soul, Atma, in relationship with Krishna.
What is the purpose of spirituality or seeking a spiritual path, and why should I consider it in my life?
It says in Quran, if you just want to walk, any road is good for you. If your purpose just to walk around and move, pick up any road. But if you want to go, let's say, from New York to Los Angeles, you need a navigation system. You need to estimate the path, the road, the gasoline or flight cost. And you need to have very clear purpose. Where are you going and why? So once you understand who you are the soul, and there's eternal path to divine love of God, the love of Krishna, and spiritual reality, then you choose the path, can deliver this goal to you in the most pleasing, comfortable, and real convenient way.
What is the purpose of spirituality or seeking a spiritual path?
God damn it, you're asking the same question 10 times. Let's do it.
Okay. At least we need 2 more. What is the purpose of spirituality or seeking a spiritual path, and why should I consider it in my life?
You already asked me this 10 times. I'm telling you one more time. You're the divine soul, Atma. There's a super soul, Krishna, supreme everything. You internally connected forever, eternally. Remember, you forever connect with God. Nothing without God. Do you understand me? You cannot do anything without Him. So finding your relationship, you're looking for a relationship, right? Finding this relationship, that's what it's all about, amigo. All right, Jack?
I have one more question.
Okay.
What is the purpose of spirituality or seeking a spiritual path, and why should I consider it in my life?
Well, the purpose of spirituality is to achieve eternal peace. No, I hate peace, actually. I can't stand. If I lock you in a prison and tell you, here's eternal peace for you, you're going to go crazy, like everybody else in the same prison. You need world of action. You need to become true living being, not jail or conditioned by shackles of your low desires, of your emotions, which I'm talking about non-spiritual emotions. You need to have true spiritual emotions. You need to have true spiritual desires and the true spiritual reality, beautiful, eternal, to fulfill your internal tendency to love and be beloved and appreciate and serve. And that's why I'm again and again answer you the same question you're asking me.
Okay, next one.
Okay, let's try next one.
We know that you can do it infinitely.
It's only 9 minutes. We have another 10 minutes left.
How do I begin a spiritual practice if I've never had any prior experience with it? And what benefits can I expect to see in my life?
Okay, when you're born in this world, you never had experience of eating, breathing, going to school, driving a car, getting to job. You never had that experience. Somehow you got it. Step by step, baby step. So you get the proper knowledge from spiritual master, from divine books. You connect with devotees that practice, that can share with you experience. And you try to practice. You will always have mistakes, but gradually, step by step, you learn how to walk and you become adult, spiritual adult. Then you have to go through different cycles.
How do I begin a spiritual practice if I've never had any prior experience with it? And what benefits can I expect to see in my life?
You begin your spiritual practice with association, those who practice. Because evolution may take you to a very long road, but if you associate with proper practitioners and you learn their way, how they sleep, how they eat, what they do, how they practice, very quickly you can grow to their level. And they'll be happy to accept you to their level. Remember, the great teachers, they want you to grow. They don't want you to be on low level. But you need to connect with heart, trust, appreciation, and then you can grow tremendously and very fast. One of millions of lives.
How do I begin a spiritual practice if I've never had any prior experience with it? And what benefits can I expect to see in my life?
Who told you that you don't have spiritual experience? You're already born millions of times. You must be practicing some kind of religion, some kind of spiritual path. Otherwise, why would you born a human being? And why would you inquire this question? It's your internal question. It's not my question. I don't even know you. You've seen me on Instagram. I don't even see who you are. So, if you're asking this question, that means there's something within you inquiring this. You have to figure out what's with you inquiring and why. Most people, on primitive paths, they don't ask spiritual questions. If you ask spiritual questions, that means something within you, and you should try to open it up through association and reflection. Why are you watching mirror? You're reflecting. Don't ask me these questions anymore. For sure.
How do I begin a spiritual practice if I've never had any prior experience with it? And what benefits can I expect to see in my life?
You start from aromatherapy. Oh yeah. Until your brain clear, you will not have clear path. Gradually, as you practice and associate, gradually you will get a clear path. Gradually. Just like when you travel to somewhere, it sounds too far away, vague and abstract. The mountain is too far away. As you're coming closer to mountain, as more details you will observe. Then the next stage is to claim mountain. First level, second level, the most difficult to claim on top. But you know what? If you made that far, you don't want to go back. Just go forward. Buy a great product. Support our channel.
Three more, Maharaj. How do I begin a spiritual practice if I've never had any prior experience with it? And what benefits can I expect to see in my life?
First, you understand what word spiritual mean. A lot of people, they misuse, they think painkillers is medicine. Yes, painkillers like Tylenol is part of pharmacy. It's part of medicine, but it's not really the medicine. So figure out what is spiritual, what is transcendental, what is beyond your senses, perception, reality. That's only believe in your heart, not your mental stage, not the books. This is all superficial, external stuff. May help you, may not help you. So once you have your internal reality, your internal conversation, your internal inquiry, it will be answer you from within, from internal way, but it also will reflect from without. You will see an outside surface. People come and help you. Things will start speaking to you. There could be, mystical signs or dreams or other things, name it. Start your search and you will find for sure. And this will be the mystery. This is the greatest mystery in the world.
How do I begin a spiritual practice if I've never had any prior experience with it? And what benefits can I expect to see in my life?
Do you see my body shines like a sun? Just because I have a lamp in the studio. So remember, God, Krishna, shine behind you. And the light come from Him, not from you. You part of reflection. You're reflecting things. You're reflecting reality. You need to have proper reflection and understand that source of light. Even if you're not look at this source of light, it still provide you light and consciousness. So you have to connect with that source of light. You see the source of light? Connect with that. And if you go through the light, you see beautiful person. Beautiful, shining person of Krishna. Love and beauty personified.
This shot we should take from your phone. Definitely.
Yes.
And the last one. How do I begin a spiritual practice if I've never had any prior experience with it? And what benefits can I expect to see in my life?
Yeah, you always want the benefits, right? Hey, I'm looking for a job. What's the benefits? What's the salary? First of all, what can you give? Nothing. But what you can get, everything. This is beginning stage. The medium stage, you acquire a lot of experience, you give fully, solely yourself to spiritual path. The spiritual path is open way for you, and you're on the spiritual path. On the highest level, you give everything, but you expect nothing. Expect nothing until you reach the highest. When you expect everything, that means you're neophyte. When you equal exchange, it's middle level. On the highest level, nothing that you needed anymore. You are meant for that goal. You're meant for that service. You're meant for that love. Now give 10 rupees.
Do you want more answers on this question or next question?
We can answer the same question.
Okay.
It's still about 2 times more.
How do I begin a spiritual practice if I've never had any prior experience with it? And what benefits can I expect to see in my life?
All right, the experience is very important. It's based on information, the experience of other practitioners, the great yogis, great saints, the community experience of relation or your individual practice, and grace of God. So it comes from many different ways, the experience. And a lot of people, they don't get the same experience. Everybody has their own experience, but we can say the experience is there if you have enough input. You have to have input first. And input means you have to believe, you have to have faith. This is very important spiritual energy, to be believer. If you are not believer, nothing going to work for you. In material life or spiritual life, where do you get belief for those who believe in you? Remember, belief comes from belief, love comes from love, knowledge comes from knowledge. Belief does not come from doubt or ignorance. Yes, you'll have doubts. It will help you to overcome doubt with beliefs.
Harsh, I think if we take 7 shots from every question. So
Okay,
maybe
good,
not-
good, good. I'm tired. Enough?
Yeah, next question. Are you?
All right, we're doing one more question, or we're tired? Huh?
On the guy.
How you like the clown show?
Perfect. Okay. How do I deal with doubt and skepticism as I explore spirituality? And is it okay to question the teachings of spiritual leaders?
Well, my experience is this. There'll be always someone who make fun of you, and there'll be always somebody who will become your fun. So some people will make fun of you from left, somebody will believe in you like in Jesus Christ. Don't go for it. Be equal, appreciate both, learn from both. Learn from doubter with understanding I'm not perfect, I need to do a lot of self-work before I become perfect. And appreciate those people who give you the credit of being a spiritual person. So take from left, take from right, but go in the middle. Be self-critical, but don't be a self-hater. You hate yourself, you're not going to make it. If you're not self-critical, if you're just narcissist or you're in your own ego, you will not see your imperfections that you need to tweak and change. So always look at reality as a mirror and reflect things. Learn how to reflect reality. Be sincere. Don't jug up your ego and you'll be fine. That's called humility, humble. Just like a great martial artist. They never show their power. They're never, whoa, but they can kick your ass if they have to. Be like that, like a Bruce Lee. Humble, simple, submissive, open, and faithful.
How do I deal with doubt and skepticism as I explore spirituality? And is it okay to question the teachings of spiritual leaders?
Doubts are a symbol of weak mind. Because doubts come from somebody else's doubts. Weak mind. The mind has to be controlled through faith and meditation. First of all, focus on light and truth, and it will shine in your heart, will not give chance to doubts, to give the dark shadow reflection to your eyes. Don't associate with those who doubt, cynic, and skeptical. Associate with faithful people, but not fanatics. Remember, fanatics and doubters, they're just one extreme side of a flip coin. Reasonable, faithful, loving people whose normally is not showing up so much because they're within inner work. Find those people, be their friends, and in a very deep way they will open your heart and they will reveal you the truth.
How do I deal with doubt and skepticism as I explore spirituality? And is it okay to question the teachings of spiritual leaders?
Why do you always like advice of your good friend or your mother, father, people that loves you? Because they don't have any doubts. They know it's very difficult to make it. But they will give you true, sincere answer. And they will give you the true, sincere directions. So as the Holy Scriptures, spiritual masters, and sincere practitioners who's not envious of you, these are the people you should stay with, and they will give you the proper energy to continue a spiritual life. Remember, in every society, there's always betrayers, doubters, cynics, people who make fun and joke of everything. So don't be part of that company.
How do I deal with doubt and skepticism as I explore spirituality? And is it okay to question the teachings of spiritual leaders?
Yes, it's okay to question everything, including yourself. You should question yourself. You should question the people that expose doubts, why they do that, what is their motivation. And you should also understand what is the motivation of spiritual masters. If their motivations not to transfer knowledge, to receive the remuneration, then they're just doing business in the name of spirituality. If the people that have doubts just want to be, revealing their ego by playing games and just being like vulgar and suspicious, reject those people. They're not the good doubters. The good doubters are sincere and smart, like Socrates. And you know what? Try to reflect yourself. What is your own self-true purpose? What is your own self-interest? This is the most important. So if you really want to move forward, you need a mentor, a good mentor. You need a good company, and you have to have proper attitude. And proper attitude in spiritual life is to act with enthusiasm. Be enthusiastic. This is the most important.
How do I deal with doubt and skepticism as I explore spirituality? And is it okay to question the teachings of spiritual leaders?
If I would be somebody great, I would say, don't deal with doubts. The great spiritual person never has any doubts. Maybe on some high level. But remember, Jesus had some doubts, right? So as many other saints had doubts. So what's the difference between you and Jesus? An evolution of spiritual progress. So if such great souls had doubts, what about you? But here's the difference. Their doubts help them to make proper decision, to make proper sacrifice, to make proper statement, to be sure of what they're dying for is the right thing to do. They didn't become betrayers, although they were betrayed. So always think about some great souls who also had doubt, but with their doubt, they were promoted on the highest level.
How do I deal with doubt and skepticism as I explore spirituality? And is it okay to question the teachings of spiritual leaders?
Yeah, you always have to question spiritual leaders with sincere inquiry. Be sincere, submissive, and ready to serve. And with that mood, if you question any kind of spiritual teaching or teacher, and if that person has the same qualities, you will connect. But if you make fun of somebody and you think you're the big shot, and you might be questioning a real big shot, that you don't even have idea how big he is, what would be the benefit for a cockroach to speak with elephant and make fun of elephant? Oh, you're so big, you're so fat. Yeah, I am, but what about you? So have that understanding. Truth is not by your mental measures, it's by the divine measurements. It's descending truth, it's not ascending. You're not able to judge something higher, but you can try sincerely, yes. Okay, I'm tired. I want some cigarette.
There's just one more left.
Okay. All right.
How do I deal with doubt and skepticism as I explore
we put here
spirituality?
100 baht and
And is
add
it
some more. Okay.
How do I deal with doubt and skepticism as I explore spirituality? And is it okay to question the teachings of spiritual leaders?
Yeah, it's a great idea. Be skeptical of yourself. Be skeptical of materialism. It's called healthy cynicism and healthy doubt. And there's unhealthy doubt. Like, let's say you doubt about science. Yes, they're false scientists, but they're science. You doubt about religion. They're false religionists, but there's a pure religion of love. Be doubt of yourself and be doubt of God, because you're not physical body and God not something that you imagine with your mundane brain.